we now live in a virtual world, and because we live in a virtual world, it's really affecting many people's productivity, and it's not making them to be able to maximize their time and life because they are distracted. In fact, people have said that as we go into the future, people are going to have a new set of discipline, and the discipline will be distraction management, helping people manage the kind of distraction they are exposed to as a result of social media. But let me start this evening by saying, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Another translation says that God's eternal power and character cannot be seen. But from the beginning of creation, God has shown what this look like by what he has made. And that is why those people don't have any excuse. I would like to state that some of the languages used in scriptures are based on the limitation and the understanding of the people at that time. If the scripture is going to be written today, you are going to see some changes in the language being used. You're going to see words like energy, frequency, and vibration. Energy, frequency, and vibration. For example, love, joy, and peace makes you to be at a high frequency of vibration. Love, joy, and peace make you to be at a high frequency of vibration. But hatred, fear, make you to be at a low frequency of vibration. When you're at a high frequency of vibration, you are close to the divine, you are more in alignment. And what salvation is supposed to do is to ensure that you acquire a nature that makes you to be always, or most of the time, be in alignment. But for one reason or the other, people are tempted to do untoward things that make them to be at a low frequency of vibration, because people will annoy you, people will disappoint you, people will be disloyal, people will do things against you that you will not like. And the goal of the devil is to ensure you are angry, full of hatred, even afraid of people, and this make you to be at a low frequency of vibration. When people plan to destroy others, when someone wants to use evil power to destroy people, they are doing it out of anger, hatred, animosity, and they are at a low frequency of vibration. If you are at a high frequency of vibration, no matter what they do, it cannot harm you. That's why the Bible says, he that is born of God sinneth not. And because he sinneth not, the wicked one toucheth him not. Because it has a high frequency of vibration. And they cannot touch him. This is why as long as you are in Christ, which means you are full of love, joy, and peace, evil power cannot harm you. Because you are above them due to your high frequency of vibration. God has set forth different systems on the earth, and this makes him not to interfere in the way the earth operates every time. And some of these systems include water cycle, carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, phosphorus cycle. He has also put in place a system to enable every human being to manifest their heart desire. And this is the focus on this series on unveiling the divine operating system. Unveiling the divine operating system for manifestation. Unveiling the divine operating system for manifestation. Let me start by saying that the internet and social media are influencing the reality of many in our world unknowingly. You know, I stumbled on a live session on TikTok yesterday. I wanted to post and I stumbled on it. The topic they are discussing sound interesting, so while I was working, I was listening to the conversation. And when I see what they were talking about, the title of the program is Convince me why I need to marry. And they were mostly ladies. Convince me why I need to marry. Why should I marry? Because many people there are against men. They have issue with men. They've had terrible experiences. And what you realize is that, is it not interesting in this life when you have had an intense negative emotional experience with a man or a woman, it has traumatized you, it has shifted you negatively, changed your orientation and impression about men or women, that make you to be at a frequency that make you to hate men or women. And guess what? For one reason or the other, because of the vibration you are in, you keep attracting similar. By the time you attract 2 or 3 of that, you conclude there are no good men again. There are no good women again. So as far as you are concerned, men are scum. Women are harlot. You begin to categorize because you learned from social media. Someone say hurting people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. These people have been hurt. They are now hurting others. So they tell you there's nothing good in marriage. There's no reason you should get married. They were convincing others. And you can see these are traumatized people who have had a terrible experience with a guy or a lady, because they were mostly women, had a terrible experience with a guy, and now they're on social media. Now, a young person who has not had that experience is hearing traumatized people talking, and he will begin to believe them. And by believing them, he will begin to attract men that is going to traumatize her into her life. And she's going to conclude, men are terrible, men are bad, men are this, men are that. But social media already have made her to have a belief system that made her to be at a frequency that made her to attract terrible men to herself. Same about Nigeria. People have had terrible experience with Nigeria. They are sharing on social media. You are following them. And they are making you to see nothing good about Nigeria. And guess what? Because you believe them, you believe there's nothing good can come out of this country. And guess what? You will never find anything good in Nigeria. Why? Because be it unto you according to your faith. Remember that frequency is a mental attitude. It's a state of consciousness, a self-concept, and is determined by a number of components. Remember, your frequency is what determines your reality, and your frequency is influenced by your belief. It's influenced by your expectation. It's influenced by your perception. It's influenced by your reaction. It's influenced by your conviction. It's influenced by your emotionally charged thought, and it's influenced by your focus. So the social media affects your frequency and hence your reality by affecting this component of your frequency. Some of them are yet to be married, but have a terrible experience about marriage. But I've been married for 16 years. No, not 16 years. Since 2000 and it's about 16. It's more than 16 years. Since 2008, October 1. Almost 20 years. Almost 20 years. But my reality is different. But if I was young and I was listening to those people, I don't know that hurting people hurt people. Hurting people hurt people. So, because of what they are saying, I imbibe it. It marinates into me. And guess what? I begin to believe men has come. Women, there is no faithful woman. And I'm going to generalize because I've had 2 or 3 experiences. But what he doesn't know is that what he has been watching and listening to online, if sincerely, when I see what I see online and I look at my reality and I ask myself, quite frankly, if I don't know what I know today and with what I see online, you might be forced to believe some of those things. But what you don't know is there are over 8 billion people on earth. So that 3, 4, 5, 600, 1,000, 2,000 people are saying the same thing does not make it true. Is their reality, no doubt, but that's not the truth. What you see online is influencing your belief. What you see online is influencing your expectation. What you see online is influencing your perception. What you see online is influencing your reaction. What you see online is influencing your conviction. What you see online is influencing your emotionally charged thought and your focus. And guess what? All this affect your frequency. And remember, all this affect your emotion. Your emotion is energy in motion, which is an energetic vibration that compound to a frequency, and the frequency determine your reality. So what you see online is influencing you negatively. Unfortunately, most things that you see online are not real. As a matter of fact, some of them are bot and AI. Do you know that it has gotten to that point now that some of the posts you see online are not real? They are created by bot and AI. Look, now people can shape a narrative. Election is coming. Some people can go online, can develop thousands of bots, millions of bots. These bots are going to be posting. They are going to have profile like human being. They are going to be posting on social media and shape a narrative. And you see about 100,000 people talking about the same thing about a candidate. And guess what? It is shape a narrative. These are not human beings. They are bots. But they have profile like human beings. They have profile like human beings. Bots and AI are affecting the way you are thinking about your country, about a candidate, about some people. Bots and AI. Have you heard about the concept of dead internet? There is the theory of dead internet. You can Google it. It's called the theory of dead internet. What does that mean? Dead internet. Dead internet theory is an internet Dead internet theory is an internet hypothesis suggesting that the vast majority of internet traffic, content, and interaction are no longer generated by humans, but rather by bots and artificial intelligence and algorithms. They are not by human again. If you allow, and it's so funny how people conclude about the way the society is based on what they see online. Because many are not even aware that many things you see online are not real. Someone is influencing the way you perceive reality, and you're not even aware of it. And you're not even aware of it. Oh my God. Originally imagined as a free conspiracy theory around 2021, talking about the dead internet theory, the concept has gained mainstream traction with the rise of generative AI. So, in this life, you are either in control or be controlled by reality. You are either in control of your life or in control by reality or controlled by reality. You are either brainwashing yourself or you are being brainwashed by reality. People are brainwashing you online. Many people you believe online are not true. They are not real. And they are influencing you negatively. They are influencing you negatively. But they are not real. They are not real. They are not real. He said, my dad need to hear. Your dad is always on the internet. People are creating bots to change narrative. And you'll be shocked that many things you are believing are not real. So you need to be careful. You need to be careful. There are deliberate narratives against men to demonize men. And as a lady, they are already giving you a terrible orientation about men. So you are meeting a man for the first time, you already have a very terrible impression about him. Same for women. You're mending a lady for the third time, you already have a terrible impression about the lady. In this life, you are either being controlled or you are control your reality. One of the goals of social media is to get you addicted to the platform. So they create comment, like, shares that get you notification and make you see people are engaging with your post. And guess what? When you see those likes, it stimulates dopamine in you. It stimulates dopamine in you. That is the goal, to let you have a lot of dopamine. And when you have a lot of dopamine, feel good and happiness hormone, it makes you to want to do more. On my phone today, the only notification you will see is YouTube because of channel I subscribe to, I learn from. Facebook, no notification. Instagram, no notification. TikTok. Why am I disabling? Even WhatsApp, no notification. Why? I don't want to be distracted. I want to go there to check when I need to check, not because someone is telling me someone and it's red. It's so it will tell me click me, 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 click. Before you know, you click, you scroll, scroll, scroll. 2 hours has gone, 3 hours has gone. The people that design those algorithms, some of them, their children don't have a phone. Their children don't have a phone because they know what they have done with those social media. And they don't want their children to be caught up in it. So some of them, their children do not have a phone until they become teenagers. Even a teenager, they control it. The engagement online are designed to stimulate the release of dopamine and keep you in the zone of polarity, which is the challenge of the physical world. Someone you have not met is commenting like on your post and you are excited. Someone you have not met. If you have a fantastic moment in your life and you capture it with a camera for the purpose of posting online for someone you do not know to validate you, you are broken. If you are capturing fantastic moment of your life, not for record purpose and for history purpose, but for posting online so that someone that does not know you can validate you, you are broken. You are broken. You are broken. You need therapy. Something is wrong with the way you are thinking. You need to get to that point in your life that either positive or negative comments mean the same thing to you. That means you are not excited by positive comment. You are not depressed by negative comment. Both of them mean exactly the same thing to you. Else, people are going to control you. This is the reason why people commit suicide, because people are saying terrible things about them online. And because someone says some terrible thing about them online, it's controlling them. It's controlling them. It's controlling them. The terrible things people are saying online is controlling how they feel because they are allowing the validation of people to control how they feel. If you post online your fantastic achievement and moment in your life so that people can give you likes, you are broken. Something is wrong with you, and you better accept that and do something about it. Because the same people that say Hosanna today is going to say crucify him tomorrow. The same people that say Hosanna today, praising you, are going to kill you and destroy you tomorrow. So you had better not take those validations seriously. Unfortunately, since this engagement have the capability of stimulating intense emotional reaction in you, then you have access. They have access to your subconscious mind. Oh my God. The fact that those likes, those comments get you excited, stimulate emotional, intense emotional response in you, It gets into your subconscious mind. And that is not a good place to be. That's not a good place to be. You have now put yourself in a place where someone you do not know is going to control how you feel. You are putting yourself in a place where people you don't know is going to control how you feel. Either feeling good or feeling bad. I repeat again. I repeat again. I repeat again. If people that you don't know are commenting on your picture and it gets you excited and you post it for that purpose, you are broken. You are seeking validation from people you don't know. Something is wrong. You are broken. You are broken. You are traumatized. Because you have not gotten to that place where by yourself you are happy with yourself. You do not need external validation. You do not need external validation for you to be happy, excited with your life, with yourself. When you begin to need external validation, you are broken. You are broken. And a lot of teenagers are in this space. They will do all sorts of things online. Have you seen what they call view ones on TikTok? People can literally go nude completely. Why? To get views. They are broken. To get views. They are broken. Disengagement has the capacity of stimulating intense emotional reaction in you. And these make people you do not even know to have access to your subconscious mind. Remember, the subconscious mind is the womb of creation. 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 And whatever control and shift your conscious and subconscious mind will control your reality. Whatever control and shift your subconscious mind will control your reality. When you are using your phone, just like you are in front of a TV, your conscious mind disappear and your subconscious mind take over. When you are using your phone, your subconscious mind take over. That's why sometimes you scroll for long, you don't even know time has gone because you are no more conscious. Your subconscious mind take over. This is why you need to be very careful about what you are scrolling through on the internet because it will make you to react. And guess what? Reaction is a form of creation. Reaction is a form of creation. Reaction is a form of creation. You negatively react to what people are doing. It's a form of creation. It's a form of creation. So with what you see online, your subconscious mind is swayed. And this consequently determines your reality because you are experiencing exactly the frequency created by the shifting in your subconscious mind, orchestrated by intense negative emotional experience. Unfortunately, if you are not aware of these things, you'll be unaware of why you have now become who you are today, why you are now very edgy. You now hate men, you now hate women, you disgust them. You have not even dated any, but you hate them. Or you've only dated 2 or 3, but you hate them. You don't even believe in the country again. You don't believe anything good can happen to you in Nigeria. You don't say anything good in the country again. Even though other people are making it in the country, you don't believe it's possible because of what you are seeing online. The movies you are watching, the videos you are watching, the people you are following. And to think like most of these engagement nowadays are no longer human, but by bots, that means AI is controlling your reality through the social media. AI is controlling your reality through the social media. Have you ever wondered why it now looks like a lot of people online are no longer using their brain, the way they think, the way they reason, the things they say? They are no longer using their brain. They're no longer using their brain. It is because they are now being controlled subconsciously by engagement on social media. So they will do anything, and I mean anything, to get engagement, to get likes. They will do anything to get likes, to get comments, to get views. They will do anything. 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 Anything to get live, to get views. They are now being controlled subconsciously by the engagement on social media, so they will do anything to get engagement and hence the dopamine. Always remember that subconscious mind responds to emotion, and emotion is the language of creation. If you are unaware of what is being fed to your frequency on social media, you will not be able to know what is affecting your reality. So you need to see women. So you see women that have been abused by their husband, or men that have been cheated on by their wives. Even though these people seem to have a great relationship before, you see them as a happy couple online. Now, they are separated and you have been emotionally swayed negatively by this observation, and hence it affects your frequency, and it begin to affect your reality. You now begin to wonder why you don't trust your partner again. You don't trust men again. You don't trust women again. And how it's making you to do things that make your relationship not to last any longer. In fact, it has put you in a place for some people where they are not even able to attract the right men again. Why? Because of the way they see men. Why? Because of what they are seeing online. Oh my God. Unfortunately, the internet has created a collective consciousness of fear, a collective consciousness of anger, a collective consciousness of animosity, a collective consciousness of hatred in most people in our world. And that explains the reason why there is so much toxicity on social media platform online. So much toxicity. And not many people have developed thick skin to handle that toxicity. That's why some people commit suicide. Not many have developed thick skin to handle that toxicity. That's why some people commit suicide and kill themselves. Why? Because they cannot handle toxicity. Many people want to manifest money, but they allow the internet to drive scarcity into their consciousness. They want money, but subconsciously, they are thinking of poverty. Subconsciously, they are thinking of poverty. Why? Because when they go online, they see the way people are suffering. On the same internet, you can see the way people are enjoying life and living large. So you can choose the one you want to view. You can choose the one you want to view. They want to manifest love, but they allow internet to drive hatred and infidelity into their relationship and subconsciousness with toxicity into their consciousness. If internet can stimulate intense negative emotion in you, That means it can enter your subconscious mind. And if it enter your subconscious mind, then it will affect the reality you are experiencing. If you notice things are not changing the way you desire, maybe you should check what you are exposing yourself to online. Maybe, 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 maybe you should check. Maybe you should check. Maybe you should check what you are exposing yourself to online. Maybe you should check. Maybe you should check. This collective consciousness created by the internet is now being maintained and magnified such that people are now in a vicious cycle of this emotional experience. You know, the way God created the universe is such that if you're exposed to intense negative emotional experience on the internet that make you to hate men or women, that make you to believe there's no money in Nigeria, that make you to believe there's no job in Nigeria, that make you believe there's no opportunity in Nigeria. Whatever meaning you give that situation has an emotion attached to it. Guess what? Because of that state of consciousness, always remember the principle of equilibrium. Principle of equilibrium. Principle of equilibrium. That is what osmosis ride on. Movement of solvent from a region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration. That is what diffusion ride on. Movement of solute from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Osmosis and diffusion is all about the principle of balance. The principle of balance. The principle of balance. So, when internally you have cultivated a particular negative emotional experience, the universe is designed to strive to balance what is on your inside to what is on the outside. So it's going to create circumstances and situations to ensure that it balances out what you have inside. So you have a circumstances around you that exactly matches that emotion you have inside because it's designed for equilibrium. So if you create that negative emotional experience, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So people see things online, it stimulates negative emotional experience in them, it enters their subconscious mind and manifests in their reality. Then they will claim, I said it, men has come. I said it, this country is finished. I said it, women are dog. I said it. So the issue is you. You need to be aware of your beliefs. The belief you have unconsciously absorbed or that you're unconsciously absorbing from those things you are seeing online, and filter what you see as much as possible. Filter what you see as much as possible. There is something very interesting about the algorithm on social media. It works exactly like the universal principle. You know the universal principle? When you feel terrible and sad about a situation, it will bring more of those situations to you. So you can feel more sad and it balances it. So what you are feeling on the inside, balancing on the outside. Exactly on social media. If you have watched people online now and they are always talking against men or against women or against Nigeria or against this, whatever it is, or they are always on nudes, whatever it is you are watching, before you know it, the next time you're on Facebook, you see more of that. The next time you're on YouTube, you see more of that. The next time you're on Twitter, you see more. Because the algorithm now knows what you like and it's bring more of that to you so you can see more and become angry. The more I become angry, the more you create more situations and circumstances of negativity in your life. So when you focus your attention, when you focus your attention on something on social media, the algorithm bring more of such things to you. Just the way it happened in God's system of the universe, whatever you focus on expand. Whatever you focus on expand. And the more you focus on it, the more of it come into your life. The more of it come into your life. Whatever you focus on expand. Whatever you focus on expand. And unfortunately, the algorithm is bringing across your way to focus on those things you don't like. And those things you don't like keep expanding. Just the way it happened in God's system of the universe, whatever you focus on expand. So the algorithm of the social media gives more of what you give your attention to, and to more of those things that stimulate an intense degree of emotion in you. This is exactly the way God's system of universe has been designed. The universe mechanisms magnify and maintain. This is exactly what you are seeing online. And this is becoming part of your life because you are giving attention to it. And guess what? Attention is alignment. 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 What you focus on expand. If you focus on the negativity in men, more negative men will come your way. You focus on the negativity in women, more negative women will come your way. You focus on negativity in Nigeria, more negativity in Nigeria will come your way. Whatever you focus on, expand. And God has given you the power to focus on the right thing. You have what it takes to focus on the right thing. Why are you focusing on the wrong thing? You have what it takes to focus on the right thing. Why are you focused on the wrong thing? But we all with open face, beholding as in a glass the glory of God, are changed to the same image from glory to glory. We all with the same faith, beholding as in a glass the glory of God, are changed to the same image from glory to glory, are changed to the same image from glory to glory, are changed to the same image from glory to glory, are changed to the same image from glory to glory. Whatever you focus on, expand. Whatever you behold, you become. Whatever you behold, you become. Whatever you build, you become. Whatever you build, you become. What do you want to become in your life? Build it. Build it. If you do it long enough, it become a reality in your life. You have that control on what you are focusing your attention on. That's why the scripture says, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, whatsoever things are praiseworthy, think on this thing. The scripture already giving us the protocol to thinking, to meditating, to focusing your attention. Guess what? People focus their attention on the wrong thing, and they are wondering why the wrong things are happening in their life. They focus on the wrong thing, and they're wondering why wrong is happening to them. Why are you focusing on the wrong thing? Why are you focusing on the wrong thing? Why are you focusing on the wrong thing? You don't want wrong thing to happen in your life. Stop focusing on the wrong thing. If you are unaware of the implication of what you are giving your attention to, you will not be aware of you will not be aware of why you are having the kind of reality you are seeing in your life. Where attention go, energy flows. Where attention go, energy flows. And the energy flow in that direction to create more of it for you. This energy flow to attract the kind of reality that you now begin to see in your life. So, if you are not aware of how the things you see online is stimulating negative emotion in you, then you will not be able to reverse engineer it in order to ensure that it does not affect your reality. Social media negative emotional experience cause your subconscious mind to have a negative association. This negative association cut across different areas of your life, from money, negative association with money, negative association with job, negative association with relationship, negative association with marriage, negative association with business, negative association with opportunity in life. This negative association now make you to associate money, job, relationship, business, opportunity with pain. Because making money, they've shown you online, is pain. Getting job is associated with pain. Relationship associated with pain. Pain, frustration, betrayal, and embarrassment. So when you want to make money and trying to make money, your subconscious mind begin to avoid pain because it's associated with pain and frustration and betrayal and embarrassment. This avoidance then inadvertently make you to avoid money, avoid job, avoid relationship, good relationship, avoid business opportunities in life. So why do you think we are having a lot of issue with relationship today? And guess what? It's going to get worse. It is because what people are consuming online. Yesterday, that live on TikTok, there were over 700 participants with over 90% women. 700 participants. 700 participants. And what they are saying is the reason you should not marry. And you can see, even when they narrate the story of their life and giving a life example why you should not marry, you can see where the trauma in their life emanated from. Is it not interesting? I don't know if you've thought of it, why we are negatively biased. Negatively biased. And the reason is because we need that bias evolutionary. It's an evolutionary, from evolutionary standpoint, that bias is needed for you to be able to avoid danger. So you are more conscious of danger of negative. And the reason is because it makes you to be able to avoid it. So you are more conscious of negative than positive. Why is it that people are not celebrating positive marriages? Why are you not using an example of marriages that have lasted for 40, 50 years with fantastic testimony of the couple? Why are you using the negative experience? You grew up in your home, your dad abused your mom, or your mom cheated on your dad. There is chaos in the home, there is fighting, and then your mom will have to separate. And then, because of that, you are now saying all men are terrible. But you are not asking yourself, how come majority of my friends, their parents are married, they are not separated, and they have fantastic relationship? Because I asked my friends and they're telling me how the kind of love in there. Why are you not focusing on that? Negativity bias. We are wired that way from evolutionary standpoint. You must be conscious to focus your attention on the positive. That's why people don't say anything good about Nigeria. And I'm not saying Nigeria is good enough. We deserve a better country. I'm only saying in spite of the situation right now, you can still get better things from the country in spite of the challenge. Because quite frankly, what you make out of it it's not really because of the issues. It's because of who you are. That's what you make out of Nigeria. It's because of who you are. Negativity bias. Negativity bias. Social media negative emotional experience cause your subconscious mind to have a negative association. So you associate pain or betrayal with relationship. You associate pain with making money. You associate frustration with getting job. These make you to avoid those things subconsciously. Subconsciously, you don't want it because of a negative association. And this is the reason we have a lot of issue in relationship today. People are consuming a lot of negativity about relationship online. And it's now becoming their reality. This is not to say that you should not be on social media. It is to increase your awareness of what is going on with you. And so you can avoid how social media is influencing you and focus on things that help you achieve your desired reality. The challenge of what you consume online is that it makes you to descend into polarity, and that makes you to look only at the negative end of the spectrum, which is the negative bias. But at the same time, it hides from you the positive end of the spectrum. So you will not be able to be aware of it. That is why someone will say there's no more no good men around. There's no more good men, there's no more good women. If I saw one topic one day online, they said there's no love in Lagos. There's no more love in Lagos. You see all sort of, and these people oh my God. You just become so blindfolded against the positivity. You only are focusing on the negative, and you forgot all your experiences in life. You have not even met up to 1 million people in your life. There are 8 billion people on earth. You have not met 1 million, and you are drawing conclusions. You have not met 1 million. You have not even met 100,000 that you have direct relationship with. And you conclude like that? Wow, wow, wow. Please know that conviction leads to convincing, rather leads to conviction. The way you are seeing online is convincing you, and it leads conviction because it is the continuous exposure to a particular line of thought that convinces you. A continuous exposure to a line of thought convinces you. And this convincing leads to conviction. And guess what? Conviction creates frequency, influence your frequency. That is exactly what continuous exposure to negative content on social media does to you. The only way for you to not be a victim is to convince yourself of your desired reality. Convince yourself of your desired reality. Then the opposition online is trying to convince you against your desired reality. So you must come to that realization there are good women out there. There are good men out there. And I can tell you there are good women out there. You know, I was talking to a guy, one of my friends, he's separated, he's divorced actually. And the woman showed him shaking. He does not believe there are good women out there. Oh my God, he's an Igbo guy and he's married to a Yoruba lady. He doesn't believe there are good women out there at all, at all, at all. When I told him that no, there are good women, he said, "Dele, please, I need to, can you link me up with some? Can you please link me up, please? I beg you." He said because he has not found all the other people he has dated is either they are looking for money, they are looking, and the guy is a very, very good guy. He's very comfortable, big boy. He says it's money they are looking for. The only way for you not to be a victim is to convince yourself of your desired reality more than the opposition online is convincing you against your desired reality. You have to be more proactive in convincing yourself by getting into a relaxed state through breath work and imagine someone congratulating you for that desired reality. And feel the feeling. Repeat it again and again and again until it shifts you internally that you now are convinced there are good men out there, there are good women out there, there are opportunities in Nigeria, there are jobs in Nigeria. It is important, as I round up this evening, to say that you don't allow the internet to traumatize you to begin to manifest terrible realities in your life. Now that you know these things, happy and blessed shall you be if you do that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me tonight. What have you learned tonight? Chidi, you're number one on my list. Good evening. Hello, Chidi, are you there? Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Thank you so much for the session today. I mean, the idea of the dead internet, right? And how, by the time we have a world level, most people will be influenced by AI. Like, so coming to a place whereby we are conscious about the
Yeah.
it connects to the quality of life we manifested. So I mean, as you were speaking, I just remember the whole idea of old wives' fable, right? Someone tell you about it, you begin to live in that, vibration, that frequency, right? And so because of that, you begin to attract, that
Yeah.
if you're relocating, the person that comes to pick you up from the airport when you arrive at your destination
Determine a
country.
lot about what become of you in that country. Determine it. I'm serious. Because I have fantastic people enjoying themselves abroad, and I have people suffering terribly abroad.
Yeah, so for me, that was just so that was just so how having this consciousness determines the optimal way to, because regardless, each of us have to create an influence, right? So what is the best approach that you're not interested in? You can also put that content out there in a safe way and also be able to influence the system. So what will you say about that balance, right?
I didn't get that question.
So the balance between creating boundaries, right, and also putting out content, basically influencing on social media
No,
as
no,
well.
no.
Because
I put out content regularly. I put out content regularly. I just deliberately ensure I'm mindful of the people I'm following online. So,
okay,
the beauty of internet is if maybe there was a story about something and then I saw it trending and I click on it and I saw an obscene content, for example. Now, that obscene content, let's say it's a sex tape and it's trending and I click on it and I saw it. Now, the next time I'm online, then I saw it again, then I can easily tell Twitter, I don't like this. I don't like this. I click as many of them I see, and then the next time I'm online, I don't see it again. That's the beauty. Meaning, I can actually clean up what I see, the feeds I see. I can clean it up based on what I view online, what I see online. I can clean it up. So that means
Mm.
if things are showing on Facebook I don't like, I'll just clean on it because at some point I notice some set of video are showing and I'll click on it. I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't. And then if I do that like 10 videos and I refresh, I don't get to see those kind of videos. I begin to see other type. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so what so that's a deliberate, conscious effort. Number one. Number two, also it's important you are deliberate in what you are going to do online. That's why I said notification. I only have notification that I follow very regularly on YouTube. YouTube. That's why I get notification regularly. I didn't turn on notification in TikTok, but for one way or the other, I will see notification. But I didn't turn it on. But one way or the other, it showed me. What's the name? But on WhatsApp, on so that the reason is I don't want to be distracted. I don't want to see those messages. On YouTube, I follow news channel, I follow some podcasts, and I want to know where they post. So I put on that because I spend, if I'm on social media for 2 hours, I'm going to spend like 1.5 to 145 minutes on YouTube. Why? Because there are some people I just listening to because for me it's a place I learn. If I'm driving, I'm listening to something. It's a reading learning for me. So I'm
Mm.
deliberate about that, about what I want to go there and do. Someone sent me the other day, say send something to me on Facebook, send me on DM on Facebook, Abi. I said, sorry. Even though you might see me posting on Facebook, I really don't stay on Facebook like that. It's a deliberate effort. Deliberate effort. So you need to post. It's important you are out there because you must not be online. You just must be online. There are so many businesses that have gotten just by being online. So you can't joke with being online. But you have to be disciplined enough to know how much time you want to spend online for whatever it is you are doing online.
Mm, that makes a lot of sense.
All right. Okay.
It just also came to my memory the flip side, right? The and by the way, there are now AI features, I think on is it Instagram, on social media, that allows you to dictate what you want. But on the flip side, just the way the wrong content is gyrating towards you, by the time you also feed on quality content, you get quality content coming towards you back.
Exactly. You will get notification on all. They will suggest, so many suggestions and recommendations will come to you, similar content.
Yeah,
In
so
fact,
that's so
I don't know if this happened to you last year, December. YouTube showed me summary of my my um my
top.
no hold on. I'm trying to see if I can locate that thing. It showed me like letting you know what you're consuming online. Hold on.
Yeah,
I want to see
that's
because I think I
crap.
screenshotted it. Hold on. I think I screenshotted it when I saw it. It was showing me, and it was for me, it was a very good feedback because it's showing what you are consuming. Just a minute, please. It's showing what you are consuming. And that should be a feedback to let you know that, look, this is what YouTube say I spend my time doing online. Is this what I want to be known for? Does this look like what I want to see for myself? If it doesn't, then you need to do something about it. Just a minute, please. And I love that. I thought I screenshotted it. For one reason or the other, I can't locate it. And the reason I have to do it is because it lets you know what are you consuming. And I realize that what I spend a lot of time online, as in what I'm on YouTube now, the kind of what's the name? Stuff I watch. I can't see it, or I was thinking I screenshotted it over. I can't see. Go ahead.
So the YouTube Wrapped thing definitely just shows like I think they call it YouTube Wrapped. So it just show you like your content for the year.
Yes.
So I was observing mine, right? I could see a trend from 2020 4, 2025, 2026. I saw the content I consumed most in terms of
Mm.
music. And in my head, I was just saying that hymn that talked about more of self, some of self, some of the, all of self, all of the, because 2020, I could see to 2024, I could see, a lot of more secular, just one Afro artists. Most of them were now more of podcasts, more of gospel artists, and so for me, I could see growth from that.
Because it's a very fantastic feedback.
Yeah.
Fantastic feedback. And it speaks to you because if you are sincere with yourself, you now ask yourself, so what are you really consuming online? And this thing you are consuming online, is it healthy? You have to be sincere with yourself. Is it healthy? Is it a good feedback for me? Or I'm not helping myself? I'm not helping myself. So you can do something about it and correct it. You know? Is oh my God. All right. Grant. Hello, Grant.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Thank you for.
Yeah.
So, since I found noteworthy, uh, yeah, how that there are many people on earth, like even if 4,000 people, and to now take, to now build my own life truth from other people's experiences, that
Yeah.
was the product of their own focus, their own different kind of things, is long ago, a while ago. That somebody experienced something doesn't make it real.
Yeah.
Especially when in churches, for example, the pastor will share stories to buttress the point he's making.
Yeah.
Somebody's experience, maybe narrate his experience, and to be like, "Yay, can you hear this?" At some point, I just said that that's more than because as I grew in consciousness, mentally and spiritually, I realized that I cannot experience some. Now becomes obvious that if you put me in that situation, that cannot be my experience. So
Mhm.
that person experienced that thing is a report not of the situation, but of who they are, how they.
Exactly. Exactly. Because if you're in that situation, you're not going to think that way and probably do
Uh,
things differently.
and I mean, I had somebody came to share a testimony and said she was in a bus where they sprayed something and everybody slept, and as a result, her phone was taken. When he said it right there and announced to the church that this sister that experienced this thing is a problem that she experienced it because it is we are supposed to be immune to this thing. So is testimony is now coming from a a flaw, like this is a weakness. This should not be a to me, like, come on. So that's number one. And
Mhm.
there are 8 billion people on earth. I'm like, wow, there
I
are
didn't get
plenty.
that.
Oh. I said there are 8 billion people on earth. A lot.
Yes.
So since the experiences are everywhere, like everybody has a different experience in different areas, and you can't even argue against the person's experience. And sometimes when you share, because my experience just denies it completely. And It doesn't make it less true. It's just that it's not something I will be able to work with. Then attention is also alignment.
Yeah.
I have a question
Okay.
towards the aspect faith, and this
So what's
comes like
where? Okay.
faith. So, and it's like coming from last 2 weeks or all those piling up. Because when
You
you
have what?
teach, you make prior.
Okay.
Okay. So when you teach and you teach on the subject of say consciousness, emotions, alignment, it's such that if you do these things, then there is
If you do what?
if you do the meditation, you do the
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, okay. But my disillusionment with it is where is the
What do you mean place of God's sovereignty? What do you mean by that?
in a sense
It's now what?
like is God who is like that is God that is refusing that like God's operation within his principles can override my engagement with the principle.
Hold
Did
on.
you
What is it that you want to do? That's the first thing we need to establish. What is
like
it
I
that you want to do that the first thing we need to check is there a scripture that establishes what exactly you want to do? That's the first thing we need to establish. Because sometimes people hide under this that okay, maybe because it's not God's will, that's why I didn't have those things I'm looking for. And in the real sense of the word, it's not like it's not God's will. It's just like they use that as a way of helping themselves. I don't know if you understand what
I
I
know that I know that escape route. I
Yes.
know that escape route where you have not done everything, but at least
Do you understand? So,
but
yes, go ahead.
so now like for example in Hebrews 11,
Mm-hmm.
it has a place where it says that some people received their dead back to us, refused deliverance and they just died like that and they hoped for a better resurrection. So it has people whose that the result of their faith was getting paid.
Okay.
So what determines the direction of faith? Does it happen exactly as I want it to be?
No, no. When you say exactly as I want it to be, is it the way? So, for example, I need an apartment. The
Okay.
apartment can come as a house I own. It can come as a gift. It can come as a friend that assisted me. But in fact, is that it's just a place I'm staying. Did you get that?
Okay.
So that's why I said. So when you are saying
Can-
this, I'm seeing a lot of feedback from your end.
So let's use car. Let's use car.
It can be. It's still the same thing.
Brand new car.
A gift. I won a jackpot. I bought it, or they gave it to me in the office as a spare car. What is important at the end of the day is that I got the car. So how I'm going to should not be my worry. I'm getting a feedback. That's unusual for me. I'm getting a feedback. Okay, the feedback is not coming. Is it from you? Can you mute yourself?
Okay, let me try.
Okay. I think it's. Are you listening to on two devices? And it's not sounding again now. Okay, it's sounding now.
It's probably a
I don't know.
generator. It's probably a generator.
No,
Or is it my voice?
I'm hearing myself.
I'm not. I'm only hearing you once.
So I have two devices, but the second one is muted. Hello?
It
Hello?
is now echoed. It didn't echo before.
No, so when it
now.
does echo now, I muted myself. I don't know what is going on. It's distracting me. Maybe you should just mute yourself. Then when you want to talk, you're mute.
Okay.
So now it's okay now. So the how is not within our control. That's God's sovereignty. The how is not within our control. That's God's sovereignty. Which is why when you're trying to manifest, you're focusing on the end result, not the how of how it's going to happen. You're focusing on the end result, not on how it's going to happen. Because if you focus on how it's going to happen, you might be disappointed. Because you really don't have control on that. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, the how and the when.
Yeah.
Yes, the how and the when. Sick, who gets sick, and then you pray for them, or they pray, and then they just die. Does this answer those situations of many unanswered prayer?
No, look, many unanswered prayer is because whatsoever you desire when you pray, believe you have received and you shall have it. Whatsoever you desire when you pray, mute your mind. Whatever you desire when you pray, believe you have received it and you shall have it. Whatsoever you desire when you pray. Whatsoever you desire when you pray. So if I have not received it, I will not have it. If I have not received it, I will not have it. When a man of God pray for someone and there is healing, there are two things that can happen. The person, because it's a man of God, more often than not have the faith to receive, which is why people idolize men of God. Because they typically, for the good ones, they are at a high frequency. So even by speaking alone, the world, what they say is at such a high frequency in some cases, such that it's enough to cause that healing to happen. To cause that healing, because sickness is a low vibration. They can speak at such a high energy level, and the cell can receive energy to heal itself and create that healing. But the easier one and the most prominent one, or the one that can happen all the time, is the one you do yourself. You know, I remember I had a family friend that had an issue some times ago. I think it was shot and it affected his arm, the elbow, and the elbow twist. He said we wake up in the night in the hospital and be speaking to that elbow and be speaking to it. Guess what? The hand went back to normal because he believed by speaking. You know, we don't have. I wish we can understand how powerful our words are, particularly when you are speaking that word from a place of emotional conviction about what you are saying. You're not just saying it, you are visualizing it, you are seeing it happening, you are speaking it. That's surer than anointing. That's why in church, not everybody get healed when a man of God speak, only few. But personally, everybody can get their healing personally. Everybody. There's a possibility of getting healing personally if they leverage on the avenue available that God has created for us to receive our healing personally.
Okay.
And that will involve meditation, visualization, and using their words. Because when you are speaking, you must speak from a place. Look, the weight, what you are saying, carry in the spirit realm is dependent on your identity. That's what determines how it is received. I gave an example in the series of an identity we've spoken of in the past, of a child who was in the home, who was a slave, who was being maltreated. The day he realized she's the owner of the house, she spoke to the boss, and the boss realized something has changed the way he's speaking. The girl now realized her identity, and the boss submitted to her authority. The same boss that was molesting her, because now she realized her identity. She's speaking from a place. That consciousness of the place we are speaking from determines what we see. So that's why it's important for you to know who you are in Christ. For you to know who you are in Christ. I don't know that it answers your question.
Yes.
All right.
That's, I mean, now,
Yes?
but I have a second question.
Okay.
When God gets angry, does it descend on the frequency
When what?
spectrum? God gets angry, does it
When
descend?
what?
When God gets angry.
Look, I don't believe God will get angry. I don't believe it. I believe
Okay,
it's an
explain.
interpretation of our perception of the people writing. And the reason is simple. God approves principle on the earth already. If you go against it, the principle work against you. And we can easily interpret that as the wrath of God. Because we have gone against a principle. I'm not saying there are no scriptures that said it. I'm talking about the people that wrote it. Remember, there are a lot of things people wrote based on their perception, their understanding. And it's okay. But I don't believe God get angry. God is not so emotionally unstable that will get angry at every behavior of man. I don't believe it. People can believe it, but it doesn't just work for me. Why? Because I believe God has set principle on the earth. So when we say the wrath of God, they are right. Only that it's not that God is getting angry at that moment. He has set a principle on the earth that make them to experience a negative experience that made them to conclude that's the wrath of God. I don't know if I'm making sense.
From the emotional perspective, yes. But my own part is now that, because when you say it's the perspective of the people that
I said the understanding, not perspective. They can't. So if you know Isaiah in some of his prophecies saw AI, saw private jet, saw private jet, saw fighter jet, saw attack helicopter, saw what do you call it? Drones. But he can't call it drones. He can't call it submarine. Some of the things coming out of water in Revelation. Because in their reality, that does not exist.
Yes.
So they're going to describe it in a way based on their understanding. Same way. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. God gave an instruction on people, on what people should do. And they go against that instruction. By going against that instruction, it's just like you touch electricity or you throw a baby from a cliff. The principle is already there. So by going against it, you hit against the prick and you suffer the consequences. And because it's a principle God has set forth on the earth, it's easy for someone to say it's the wrath of God that make that to happen. And they are okay and they are right because it's a principle to God that put in place against people that go against that. That is my understanding. Someone else can see it in their way because in my mind, I can't deal with God that is full of unstable emotion. Go ahead. Hello?
I'm hearing you, sir. So, are you crafting is it that you are crafting a new face of God, or
No.
You've
I
studied.
believe many of us don't understand the concept of what the scripture is saying in those places. Because when you look at every other part of him, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. Do you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't add up. We have been painted a picture that see a God that carries pompo. Are you using air angry?
No.
Are you using airpiece?
Yes.
Remove it.
I'm not
Remove it.
using.
What is anything plugged to your phone jack or something? You are not using
Nothing
Bluetooth
is
or something.
nothing.
Because I'm wondering what's creating feedback. So you understand? So I'm serious. I believe that is the reason we draw those conclusions. And immediately I remove that, it makes me to see God in the right light. It's a God of principle. If you go against the principle, because he has set the principle on the earth, you suffer the consequence. People can see that consequence as the wrath of God. And I'm okay with it. But I don't see that he became angry because of what you did. Because he anticipates what you will do. Now, what you do does not shock him now. Why will he be angry? He knows you can do that. So he doesn't get angry just by what you did because he anticipated. That's why he even made provision from the foundation of the world. Before Adam was created, God already slain the Lamb of God for the salvation of mankind. Before Adam was created, because he anticipated, he already see the end from the beginning. So what you are doing does not shock him that will make him to not be angry. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes. That.
So I believe it's just an issue of understanding because of interpretation issue. I believe, and there are people that have explained it that indeed it's an interpretation issue. But I don't
When
want
you
to
mean
go into that.
interpretation,
But it doesn't sit with me in my perception of God. And guess what? The way you see God is what it becomes. Because if you see God as a very terrible God, carrying pompo looking to hit your head, that's your reality.
this one you add now, it has added extra to it, because when somebody creates maybe their own God.
Sure, you know some people don't believe in God of love. They believe in God of vengeance. Can you hear me? I can't hear myself. Can you hear me? Hello? I think something is wrong with my network. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Recording stop. Recording in progress.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry,
Is
can
it
you go back
giving
again?
that
I didn't hear last thing we were talking about before the network went down.
Is it giving that feedback now?
It's still giving it, but don't worry.
So you were saying that certain people believe in the God of God, because I
Yeah,
said
thank you.
that.
So some people believe in God of vengeance. So they don't see God as God of love. They see him as God of vengeance. That is always angry, fighting people, destroying people. So that mindset determines what they get from him and what they experience. I see God as God of peace, God of love, who has set up principle that if you go against that principle, you suffer the consequence. Not because it's that time you did something wrong that is coming after you. It's because he has put principle on ground that make you to be affected negatively by the way you have misbehaved. And that helped me in the way I perceive him. That way, I don't see him as a God that have an unstable emotion. Because he's not man. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, thank you. G-Win. 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 Okay, G-Win is not here. Favor, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Thank you
Good
very
evening.
much
How are you?
for the session. Fine, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So I'll say that one of the key things I took away today is the consciousness of actually um watching social media, what I listen to on social media.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that I want to report to myself. So what happens is because of the nature of my work, so when I go to work in the morning, most times rarely would I take my phone unless maybe once in a while or something. But I have noticed that when I come back, it seems as though I've been in isolation. Like, like, okay, what's
And
happening?
you feel, yes, it's because you are used to it, so you feel like you have been disconnected.
Yeah, so I just say, hope it's not that things are happening. And like sometimes too, you might even be in the office and then you hear certain conversations and say, did you not know that this happened? And then I'm like looking lost and like checking it. So sometimes what I do unconsciously is by the time I get back home, I now start checking my phone, start checking to see what's happening. That's when I start checking my phone till maybe towards the time I want to sleep off at that
Okay.
point in time.
Please, let me
I
say
think
something. Let me say something. Be careful about what you view last before you sleep. I will recommend, I when I was talking about identity, when you're about to sleep and when you just wake up, a very important part of your life. So if you have something you are believing God for and you want to manifest and you have created confession around it, those are the things you should speak to yourself and listen to before you sleep. So ensure that the last thing you see is not social media. Rather, be deliberate and conscious of that. What I do, I already recorded for me on a memory card, put it on my, what's the name? On the headphone, and then put the headphone on while I'm about to sleep. Deliberately, because it's so important. So you don't subconsciously get into you don't get those things you listen to last towards getting sleeping into your subconscious mind. Go ahead.
yes, thank you very much, sir. So for me, that was the key takeaway. Another thing I took away from the session today is the time when you were talking about the number of people and how we sometimes would say maybe because of an experience, some it could even be as far as tribe. Maybe one tribe, somebody from this particular tribe did something, and then we just label that person. And
Mhm.
we're able to, anytime we meet somebody that is that tribe, that thing comes up unconsciously, like, no, you already start building a wall, a defense against such a person. So I think for me, one of the things I took away again is the consciousness to try not to label
Yes.
people and try
Yes.
not to see people in a particular light or allow any experience actually make me. I also noticed somehow that in my interactions, in my daily interactions, like we're doing a training in the office, and they were talking about something, and they were talking about frequency. They were not using the term frequency, but they were wanting to remain at a particular frequency. And I cool in these sessions, and I just heard that. I mean, just say, what do these people mean? Be happy all the time. Even when a customer is not doing right, just be happy. Like there were some things they spoke about that related to frequency. And
Mhm.
for me, it was an added advantage for being in these sessions because it helped me see and understand it better from where they were coming from. Other than if I just had the knowledge as to like the classroom knowledge they were talking about it. So there's actually a lot going on around me, a lot going on in my head, in my heart, in my daily activities. As I attend the sessions. Thank you very much, sir, for the
Thank you.
session. For this social media one, it's a lot.
It's a
I
lot,
I,
yes.
I know
No,
that
because we
like
are
when you talk
used to it.
the share,
Because we
yes.
are used, it's a
When you
lot. I agree with you. Because we are used to it.
when you talked about the sharing too, I am the from the YouTube one. I know I received that, and okay, I looked at it. I was impressed with myself a bit. I started
Yeah.
to where was I most of the times or what was I doing? And he gave like a breakdown so I could see the areas where I had over time I was now concentrating on. But I
Mm-hmm.
know I still have work to do around that area because like you've mentioned, I've taken away something to where you said on notification, because like you've mentioned, a lot of things pop up as we
Yes,
go through it.
yes.
And for me, I also work with my phone. So what it means is I'm getting emails, I'm getting that, I'm getting, so it's
I would
kind
rather
of, it's a
leave
lot.
my email notification. Although I don't have email notification also. The only notification that
Yeah.
I created I want to see is YouTube. LinkedIn. I also do LinkedIn because I post on LinkedIn. I allow LinkedIn because I do a lot of posting on LinkedIn. So I allow LinkedIn because of professional connection and the like. But for most of the other social media, no, 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 no.
Okay, so
Sometimes,
sir, that I have a question on the LinkedIn one. So
yes,
I know there was a session that you took where you talked about being able to share your wins and being able to, like, being able to put the right posture out. So I
yes.
think I think one of the things that crossed my mind then was, okay, so I started to check the things, little things I do to be able to put up on LinkedIn. I know that within me is not for the likes. And I know that it's not, even if I have to post on Facebook, I rarely would. But if I post, I probably post maybe when I maybe when I feel I want to pass an information or something good happened, is a song or is an inspiring song I'm getting within that time. Would that also be
No, no, there's
perceived as,
nothing wrong with posting. The problem is when you are excited because someone like or comment, or when you're angry because someone did not like or give a negative comment.
oh,
Either
okay,
positive or negative, you should remain the same. If
okay,
you are posting because you want people you don't know to comment, and when they comment, you get excited, you are broken because you are seeking external validation for people you don't even know. The day you have given the key of your emotion to them, the day they come after you, you'll be depressed.
okay, so I get that. So
Yeah.
that's fine. I think I'm okay on that part. Thank you very much, sir, for this
Oh,
session.
all right, all right, all right, all right. Ngozi, okay, Ngozi is no more here. Victor, good evening. Hello, Victor. Hello. Okay, Victor is not here. G Win also is not with us. All right, thank you very much, everyone. See you next week. Have a
Hello,
great.
sir.
Okay, Victor, you are here. I want to round off.
Oh,
I said
I
maybe you are
was
here in the
pressing.
body. You are here in the body, not in the spirit.
No, I was pressing the wrong icon.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, sir. Thank you so much for the session today. Like, I have like a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, you spoke about like social media because I believe
Yes.
that first of all, social media is a necessary evil because this day and age, nobody watch TV. You get a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah,
information.
yeah.
If you want to be, if you want to be keep abreast of the news and what's going on in and around you, you have to be on social media. And these days, even countries at the highest level, even the United States, they post major events, major plans on social media. So I feel the first question is that we find a way to balance because I don't think we can outrightly cancel social media
I,
for our
I,
life.
I didn't say you should stop it. I specifically mentioned that now. Why are you? I didn't say you should. I'm on it. How will I be there? I say you should not go there. I'm only telling you how it's influencing you and what you must do to ensure it doesn't influence you. You should be the one to influence yourself, not external people. And social media influencing the way you feel and when you are happy or sad because of social media. So you are careful of
Yeah,
what you are
okay.
absorbing from there.
Oh, okay. But at the same time, too, you cannot be okay. Let me put it this way. For example, when if you for you to know what's happening in the country, for example, now security wise, for you to know the state that have been affected by insecurity, is most of the time you are going to find those information on social media. So at
Yes,
the end of the day, it makes you to be conscious of your environment about where to go and where not to go.
yes.
And at the same time, too, you can't separate the sadness and disappointment that you find
That's
because
where
when
the
you hear that,
problem.
oh,
That's where the problem is. That's why some people don't listen to news. Some people
so
avoid
how
it because of that.
so
Not
how do you
because
not
you
think?
are happy about it, but you should not feel sad, downcasted, morose because of it. But you
Like
know that you're
why?
happy about it, but you are not. How do I describe it now? You need to get to that point where In as much as you don't like it, you don't want it to continue, but it doesn't make you feel depressed and unhappy.
Does that not mean you're being insensitive? Because
No,
how do
no,
you
no,
how do
no,
you separate the
no,
two?
no. Okay, your sensitivity or insensitivity, what difference does it make?
Ah, ah, well,
This stopping
I don't know, but
the information is good for you to be careful and ensure you don't. So, for example, they say, oh, they are kidnapping people in a particular place. So that for me now is challenging for me to want to travel by road most of the time. Why? Because I'm conscious of the fact that this is the environment we find ourselves. So as much as possible, I want to avoid it if I can. That's because I have that information. It's helping me to take decision on how I will move. That's the way it should help me. Not to feel sad and unhappy and be crying because not because I'm happy about it, but because I also know the implication of my emotion being affected by it.
mm. Okay, but at the same time, your insensitivity, for example, if someone close to home, maybe a friend
You will
or a
not be happy.
cousin,
Look, you will
exactly.
not be happy that it happened, but you don't have to keep being in that state. Look, it's just like someone, you could lose someone also now. If you lose someone, you're not happy that it happened, but you can't remain in that state. Because
Ah,
remaining in that state is not even good for your health.
but is it not a sign of respect for the person? Because if
You are
you
the
even
one
talk about
defining
maybe
as respect now. You are the one now. You are the one defining
because
as respect. Being sad, you are the one defining as respect. Not because you
ah,
are happy about the situation. I'm not happy about the situation, but I will not be uh, depressed, morose, how do I call it now? Why? Because I'm conscious of the implication of that on my body, on my health. So if you can separate that because you have attributed being sad and remain like that for a long time, it's a sign you respect the person. I don't see it as a sign of respect.
I mean, no, no, not for long, but at least for a season. Because even in the
No,
Bible
it
days,
shouldn't be for a season.
when Moses and Aaron died, the children of Israel, they mourned him for days.
You
It's
are,
not almost one
look,
week.
you are seeing what they did is right. I'm trying to tell you that something happened that you don't like does not mean you have to bring your frequency down. It's not good for your health. You're not getting the point.
Okay, so when something happened, you just be numb, or I don't get how do you what do you
Because
not do
you are
when
used to being sad and you feel the only thing you can do is to be sad. Not because you are happy about the situation, but even if you are going to feel unhappy, momentarily, 30 minutes, 1 hour, you snap out of it because you know you can't continue in that place for long.
ah is a tough one to make up because
I
when
agree with you,
you
it's a tough one because you are used to the other one.
ah but at the same time, yeah, I feel like you are losing our humanity if because it doesn't concern you, you it doesn't
Who
how do
say
I
it
say it
doesn't
now?
concern you? If it doesn't concern you, why are you being conscious of the situation of the country and be careful? If it doesn't concern you, then you go to the same place now where there's kidnapping people, they can kidnap you. If it doesn't concern you, it's because you know it
Eh,
concerns you. That's why you are careful and ensure that you don't also form victim. That's being
okay,
careful.
no, okay. Yes, I guess it, but what about a situation when someone close to you just 1 hour you're out of it? How does that are you not losing your humanity by being
So
because I
you are
feel it
crying
as
for
being
days. It's what
insensitive. I
makes you
don't
to
know how
be.
to
Wait now, crying for days is what makes you to be in the humanity. It's okay if that's what you're okay with.
ah, because it's being selfish. Because okay, if it's going to
You
affect
are
your
the
health, what
one.
about
You see what you are doing, eh? You are giving label and interpretation. And that's the problem we have as humans. Nothing is anything until you give it a meaning and interpretation. You are the one giving that interpretation. You are the one. Because growing up, this is what people do when so and so happen. If growing up, nobody do that, you will not do it. If growing up, when that happened, nobody behaved that way. In your reality, it doesn't exist. But because everybody is doing it and you have attached a meaning to it, that's why you're behaving that way. Until you get to the reason why do we behave this way? It's because that's what you grew up with. If you do not
mm,
grow in Nigeria, we don't do cremation. I mean, is it cremation when they burn people to ashes? In Nigeria, they say, you
Yes.
want to burn my you cannot burn my father. You can, but in another environment, that is the norm. They don't see it as you destroying my father, destroying my body. But in Nigeria, it can never happen because of the environment. You are the one attaching over there. They don't attach any meaning to burning someone to ashes. You attach a meaning to it. Nothing is anything until you give it a meaning. You are the one giving it all this meaning, Victor. And if you don't, and that's to tell you that there are so many other things in your life you need to examine again and question and ensure you don't give it meaning that the environment give it. It's the meaning you have given it. That's why you are saying all this. We are losing our enmity. Yeah, it's the meaning you have given to it. If you're in an environment where they don't give it that meaning, you won't give it that meaning.
Wow. It's a big one. Oh.
It's a big one because of our environment. Because of our environment.
Wow. All right, sir. My next question. You spoke about your friend that you said that he got divorced, and ever
Yeah.
since then he has been labeling women
So he
as.
had also dated one or two ladies after that were too money conscious and they were only interested in his money. So in his mind, a lot of women are not sincere. They are only looking for money. They're interested in people's money.
Yeah, but is it really entirely their fault? Because I believe that because
Is it whose
recently
fault? Is it the
entirely the
women's
women's
fault that the
fault
women are
because
interested in money?
exactly, yes.
It's the way society have wired them now. Does not make it right now. Why do you
No,
want to marry?
because I feel like he's giving up an energy that makes him gravitate towards that people towards those kind of women or
He's
ladies
giving what?
that I feel is there's an energy is giving off. There's
I'm not
a
disputing it
frequency.
because of
Okay.
yes, I'm not disputing that. But the fact is that this is the reality. But you're right. It's also at a state. That's why I use him as an example now. That even what he's saying is not true, but that's the reality he has experienced, and he's the one attracting, and I agree with you.
Okay. Has he tried to change now?
Someone I just spoke to 2-3 weeks ago that this thing is telling me, told me in January or February now, that I should help him look for a lady that I believe is going to be serious, not someone that is just looking for money up and down. He's willing to spend though, but he just feel that should not be what define the relationship. That's the issue he has.
Oh, okay.
Not that he's a stingy person. He's an Igbo guy now. He's Odogu, but he just feels that no, I'm serious. He's Odogu. But he doesn't want the relationship to be about money. He wants to be a genuine love, not because of money.
Yeah, but that's how relationship should be to actually too now because it's not actually wrong. What he's saying is correct now.
Correct in some. I didn't get that.
Like him, like what he wants, like him saying that he wants a genuine relationship, not because of the money that he has.
Yeah,
I think that's what
yeah.
everybody should also
But
look
that's
out
the way
for.
it should be. Only that a lot of ladies nowadays, or some of the ladies nowadays, they believe that being in a relationship mean I'm now your father, I will pay your bill. That's the way they see it. You can't be in a relationship with me without paying my bills. And I'm not your father. Why should I pay your bill?
Oh, oh, okay, sir. So, sir, one last question. You also, I think the first speaker, I can't remember his name, spoke about saying that those, okay, I want to talk about Nigeria too. I think he said something about said what you make out of who you are determines what you make out of Nigeria
Yes,
because
so
we're talking about this thing, like how, because many a times your environment, like we said, to also affect you either ways, either how I said now, either is mentally or even okay, like can I even say financial because environment plays a good role in shaping how people
what's your question?
the results that people have. So I wanted to say like to what level like is that what you are determining what
So the first
determine the
thing to
outcome?
understand is that if you say there are no job in Nigeria, you know that's not true because people are getting job. What is it
Mm.
about Nigeria you have issue with? And are there people that are in Nigeria that are not experiencing that? First of all, if there are people that are not experiencing, that's to tell you what you're saying is not true. It's not the reality of the majority the way you are saying it. So then, if you accept that, then it becomes easier to fix the problem. If you don't accept that, then I can't help. But if you accept that, then we can easily fix the problem. But you must first accept. Not to say the environment is not terrible, but if you say there are no jobs, but that's not true. People are getting job every day. That you are not able to get, we now have to interrogate what your problem is.
Mm.
But if you don't accept you have a problem, then we can fix it.
Mm.
But immediately accept we have a problem, we can now know what the problem is, and then help you to be able to shift internally so that you can begin to see things from another perspective and begin to write out the right job to yourself.
Mm. Okay, I get that. But what about in cases of security? Because this security can affect everybody. There's
That's
no.
exactly what I'm saying. And security is affecting everybody. It's just for you to now be conscious of ensuring that you don't leave yourself vulnerable as long as it's within your power. It doesn't. I've not traveled by road for a long time. The day I have to travel by road to Akure, we went with police and security.
Even Akure Southwest here.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't do it. I would rather fly. So I booked a flight for one reason or another. They canceled the flight, and I'm one of the speakers at that event. And I told the people, I won't be able. They also have to go. So they arranged security, and we left by road, go and come back by road, but with security convoy. Because I won't go
So
if they didn't do that. Because why would I put myself in unnecessary? It's not. Why will I do that?
that means even this security is even more serious than I thought, because I was thinking
No, no, no.
Southwest is safe.
It's in Southwest now. They are kidnapping people a lot in Akure.
Eh?
Yes. Serious, oh, serious. In Akure have a lot of, Ondo State have a lot of forest,
Mm.
so they are using it as hideout.
Wow. That's serious, sir. So, sir, one last question. You also spoke about, we were talking about, I think the first speaker said about, you said when you go to a new country, there are those that
The person that pick
there
you
are
at
those
the
that
airport
welcome you.
determine a lot.
Determines
The person you
how.
stay with
Okay.
for your first few weeks, months, determine a lot about what you become in that country. Because it's going to be pouring in you his own ideology. And you're going to imbibe it and you're going to be like him.
Mm.
It's
Wow.
later you now realize that in the same country there are people. I have a friend. No, I have a staff. My colleague that left to Canada. He stayed with his brother who already have 2 houses when he got to Canada. He's been in Canada for 3, 4 years. He has gotten a house.
Mm.
But there are people that have been in Canada more than him, but they don't have a house. Do you
Mm.
understand? Because he stayed with his brother, and the brother told him exactly how to go about it to acquire a house.
Mm.
And he's able to. But there are people there who are not able to. Because the people in this country is hard though, you do this though. But his brother, also working, was able to. He has one in rent, he has one he's living in. So he has been able to show him the way and what he needs to do to go about it, the secret, the information. And now he has it. Do you understand?
Mm.
The people you
Because
live
that's
with, yes.
because that sound very heavy. Like, how can one person have just command your future or your reality like
It's
that?
because you are not conscious of that's when you are not conscious of what they are pouring into you. Immediately you are conscious, you know that okay, what they have said is not the reality. I need to hear from another person. But if you're not conscious of that, you imbibe everything and just begin to live your life based on that.
Mm.
You imbibe everything and begin to live your life based on that.
So consciousness is
Skill
one need to be conscious
is
about.
key
Mm.
because it determines the way you see yourself. And the way you see
Mm.
yourself is exactly the way the universe will respond to you.
Mm. Actually, I think that just brings to mind the slogan or the adage that says like the more like be careful what you listen to, because what you listen to
Exactly, your thought control
determines.
your life. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Mm. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. See you next week and bye bye.
Bye bye, sir.